Well, I figured I had to eventually make a Quay Walker video like this. Quay Walker, first round draft pick by the Packers. A lot of people were surprised by it. In his 24 snaps total prior to this game in the preseason, I thought he looked solid, and I think this is another solid performance. I don't think I was blown away by him necessarily. I don't think I was discouraged by him either. I thought that there was some good and some bad, and as a whole, he kind of looked like a solid linebacker, which, listen, for a rookie, there's worse things that you can do there. So let's start off with this play. It's going to be Creed Humphrey blocking him one-on-one, and so some people might say, it's a center, maybe you can find a way to get around him, but it's Creed Humphrey. So he was debatably the best center in football last year. That's who you're going up against. Watch how when this play begins, it looks like Walker's going to kind of try to use his reach. He does initiate the contact. He is the one who's able to get there first. I think he's hopeful that he can maybe sort of try to use his power to knock Creed Humphrey back, but again, it's Creed Humphrey. You're just not going to be able to do that. Watch Humphrey. Really, Humphrey wins that battle. He wins that rep. It was not a bad rep by Quay Walker, because again, who are you going up against? I definitely factored that in, and it's not like he got destroyed or anything. He didn't get knocked to the ground or anything like that. Just this is, what Creed Humphrey does. So, okay, that play was a loss. You also have a play like this, though, that I thought was a clear win. It's a 3rd down and 9, and this concept is designed to try Quay Walker here. That's what it's designed to do. You have 2 receivers, technically 3 eligible receivers lined up to the left of the offense. So they're taking advantage of that. They're going to have both the receivers who are at the line just kind of run deeper routes and maybe even get over the middle, basically just clear that area out so the halfback who's running underneath will be able to potentially get open. Quay Walker is in man coverage. That's the concept here. And it's a cover 1 robber, meaning there's 2 safeties deep, but one is going to kind of go over the middle of the field. So essentially, this entire area is up to Quay Walker to cover. It's all on Walker. If he makes this play, they get the stop. If he doesn't make this play, they don't get the stop. And look at how, right when this play begins, Walker does a very good job of, he reads it quickly and gets over there. Again, it's man coverage, so it was kind of clear what he should be doing from this jump is you cover your guy. It's not the most difficult read, but still, he's getting over there and he's getting over there in a hurry. He knows the importance of getting over there quickly. And then watch him just track the halfback down quickly and make a great tackle right away to not allow him to really even get close to that 1st down marker. So to me, that is a very good play by Quay Walker and something that's definitely promising. And kind of part of why they drafted him was they felt like his athleticism would really pay off. On these plays, it absolutely does pay off because you can get over there quickly and make stuff happen. We also have one like this, where what's going to happen is, this is the fascinating one. So this is another coverage play where he's going to be in zone coverage. You see the zone he's supposed to be covering. He is the one who I've circled in white, and the zone in white is the one that's where he's covering. Look at how when this play begins, you notice how there is a player who's in his zone, just a little bit underneath, and can get open. There is a little window for this catch to be made, and as you see, it's going to be caught, and Walker doesn't actually do a great job of making the tackle, but he does make the tackle, and to me, this is a fine play. I'm kind of bringing this up as, yes, he gave up a reception, but some receptions are okay to give up. This is the 2nd down and 17, and you gave up about 4 or 5 yards. You'll take that every time. So I think that he absolutely did the right thing. Don't get beat on a deeper play. As long as you give up something like that, I'm totally cool with it. So yes, it's a catch, quote unquote, but this is why you don't really need to look at like catches or yards given up necessarily, because those stats can sometimes be misleading. He did the right thing here, in my opinion. Would have liked to see a bit of a cleaner tackle. That's the only nitpick, but as a whole, this is a good coverage play for me. However, then we saw this, which I would qualify as a less good coverage play. So that's where he is on the field, and it's a little bit difficult to say the exact coverage here, just given the camera angle, but watch what happens. Right when this play begins, this is something that some rookie linebackers have some issue with, and I'm going to point to both linebackers here kind of to give an example. Where you see the linebacker on the bottom of the screen, there's, a check down route on either side of the field right here, and you see how the linebacker closest to the bottom of the screen is taking away that check down route. This is what you do. Yes, you kind of have a quote-unquote area you're supposed to cover at the beginning of the play, but these plays change, and in the NFL, you can't just stay in your quote-unquote zone. If something like this happens, you have to get over and cover the guy that nobody else is covering, as the linebacker on the bottom of the screen is correctly doing right here. But with Walker, it seems like he's maybe afraid of a potential quarterback scramble, which I just don't know if you have to be afraid of in this situation. And the reality is he's not doing anything on this play. You're playing with 10 guys now because he's just covering grass. That's what you're doing. There's no value in that. You have to get over and you have to cover the guy. And these are just things that you learn with really probably more film study than reps, but you do learn it with reps as well. And as you see, the throw was horrible, so it doesn't matter. But just kind of one of those, I saw that and it's like, I'd like to see him be a little bit quicker. But again, young player, we know he's a raw prospect. They drafted him as a raw prospect with high upside, and, I think he's still playing solid. Okay, so I think it's very clear to say that with all of this, what we have learned of Quay Walker is that clearly he was actually the best player in the draft, should have been taken first overall. Okay, no. We were never going to be able to figure out any dramatic shift in the preseason regardless. I guess if he looked horrible, maybe you'd say, like, okay, this is not looking great. Or if he looked awesome, maybe you'd be saying, oh, this is looking great. But you still would be always, a little bit not too excited either way, because you think about, Penei Sewell had some issues in preseason last year and played solid in his rookie year. Obviously, Jamar Chase had drop issues. Didn't seem to be a big issue at the NFL once he got into the regular season. So kind of saying you can never make broad statements at all about the preseason, but I think what we've learned about Quay Walker is kind of just what we already knew about Quay Walker. He looks like a rookie linebacker who's trying to play at the NFL level, which is a very difficult thing to do, and he's doing an okay job at it because he does have a lot of good traits. Again, the athleticism is certainly there. It's a draft pick that I wouldn't have made personally. There were other linebackers I liked ahead of him, but at the end of the day, if you can come in and contribute day one, people will be very forgiving of, it doesn't matter when you were drafted. It matters what value you bring to your team at this point. All that matters now is what value you're going to bring, and they feel like he can be someone who can be a day one starter that can potentially have some high upside, and he's done his job well in the preseason. Still some things he has to clean up, and these are things I saw in college too, like that he was very much he does his job, he sits in his zone, that's what he does, and for Georgia, that's all they needed. But for, in the NFL, things are just way more complex. You have to get out and you have to move around. And, they coached him up pretty well in Green Bay. I have no doubt that they will eventually figure it out. I think the question is just when will he figure it out is probably the better question. That's kind of how I view it. But, that's just what I think. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And, of course, as always, thanks for watching.